Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about writing a basic paragraph. Now, just so you have a clear idea of what we're trying to achieve here today, is what we want to come out with is a couple of learning goals. The first is to be able to name the parts of a basic paragraph and to have an understanding of the purpose of each part of the paragraph. That way you can think about these ideas when you go to write your own paragraph. Now I know we've already been doing this a bit, but I want to make sure that we have a very clear idea on what it is that a paragraph is all about. Now, one of the first things we want to think about is what is a paragraph in the first place? Well, a paragraph really is just a group of sentences. Now, the very important part of this, and you might be surprised to learn that really the main requirement of a paragraph is that it expresses only one idea. So one main idea. Now, I know I'm taking a look at some of the paragraphs we've been looking at. Sometimes we wander around ideas when we're writing our paragraphs. We put in one idea and then we think about something else and then we think about something else and we put those in. What we want to do when we're thinking about our paragraphs is making sure we're talking about one key main idea. And if we think about that, it will really help us structure our paragraphs. And when we start using our graphic organizers, you'll see how that works even more. Now there's three basic parts of a paragraph. The first is the topic sentence. And the topic sentence is the main idea. And we'll usually find that at the beginning. And you'll see here on the right-hand side how to write a satisfying paragraph. Now I know there's a bear in there and that's a bit juvenile for you guys, but I thought I'd put it in there just for fun. But the topic sentence is usually found at the very beginning. Then you have some supporting details, which are the middle. And the reason why people use a hamburger is because it's kind of the meat of the paragraph. And then finally, you're looking at the end or the conclusion or the clincher. And I like using the word clincher because it just kind of brings everything together. So let's take a look at what each of those parts are. And we're going to use this paragraph here. Sammy was the best dog in the neighborhood. When the owners wanted to play, she played. When her owners were sad, Sammy made them feel happy. She liked to visit everyone in her street. All of the neighbors were glad to see her. Now the first sentence in the paragraph is the topic sentence. And when we get to the next slide, you'll see I've highlighted it here. Now, the topic sentence is usually the first sentence in the paragraph. That's not always true when you're getting to more complicated sentences. But for our purposes, the first sentence will always be our topic sentence. Now, it introduces the main idea of the paragraph, and it tells the reader what the paragraph is going to be about. So that's what people are going to be looking for. What is this paragraph about? Well, you'll find it in the first sentence, and that's the one idea we're going to focus on for the paragraph. So you'll see here in this paragraph, Sammy was the best dog in the neighborhood. Now that's the main idea. This paragraph is about Sammy and how Sammy's the best dog. And that's the whole focus. We're not going to talk about necessarily what Sammy likes to eat, unless of course that makes Sammy the best dog in the neighborhood, if that was an interesting fact. Now, then we get into the supporting details. So the main thing with the supporting details is they support or tell us why our main idea or our topic sentence is true. What is true? What is it true of? So they come after the topic sentence. They give details that support. Now we're probably going to have to talk about what we mean when we say support if there's any confusion there. And I want you to come with any questions you have about what it means to support the main idea. And it will give facts or details and examples of why that topic sentence is in fact true. Now in this case, we have three supporting detail sentences. And that's what I'll be looking for from you in most cases is three. So when the owners wanted to play, she played. When her owners were sad, Sammy made them feel better. She liked to visit everyone on the street. So those are three different ideas that support, I should say three different sentences that support the main idea of Sammy being the best dog in the neighborhood. And finally, we're going to look at the clincher or closer, or the closing. The closing sentence is the last sentence in the paragraph. It restates the main idea of the paragraph. And it's using different words because we want to have something that's interesting. If we use the exact same sentence, it can be a little bit boring. So in our example sentence, all of her neighbors were glad to see her. Now, this is where the clincher can often be the most challenging part, especially trying to say the same thing in a different way. And then that's why I like to think of it as the clincher, something that really just pulls that sentence, that paragraph or that idea together. So in this case, all the neighbors were glad to see her tells us that it's the best dog because all the neighbors always look forward to seeing that dog. If it wasn't the best dog, people might not be interested in seeing the dog. So that's why that is stating that main idea again. But of course, that it's really going to take some work to get a good idea on how to put those clinchers together for us. So I'm not going to go over in too much detail the success criteria, and mainly because what you're going to get is uh, you're going to, oh, that was just for me to paste in, so let's just get rid of that. You don't need to save that. And what we have here, a paragraph writing rubric, you'll see here, and you'll all get a copy of this rubric. So what this does is it tells us what we have to do to write a good paragraph in each one of these areas here on the topic, sentence, the supporting details, and it tells us exactly what we should be looking for. So you'll get that. So I won't go over this in too much detail right now, but we'll certainly have a chance to talk about it tomorrow. Okay, well, thanks a lot. And if you have any, if you're unsure of anything, go back and watch it again and read over the slides. And if it's still not clear, then we'll come to class prepared with your questions. Okay, I'll see everybody tomorrow.